Well, good afternoon, everyone. The date is April 9th. It's actually the day before opening day of Spring Gobbler here in Virginia. And I'm going to be heading out tonight to try to roost some turkey on a couple of the spots that we've been looking at this off season. It's supposed to start raining early tonight and into the early parts of tomorrow morning. So I really don't expect them to be gobbling all too much tomorrow. So if we can get one roosted tonight, it'll definitely pay dividends and hopefully give us a head start for the morning in case they're totally silent on us. But before we head out tonight, I wanted to go into a little depth on my turkey hunting stuff for this year. I've been running the same stuff for years and years now, and I really do think I got it locked down. I really like the stuff that I got. So I got my turkey vest here. This is a redhead turkey vest that I got from Bass Pro like 6 years ago. I'm not sure if they even sell it anymore, but I really like it. It's a bit on the bigger side, but I do a lot of hiking and it's never really bothered me at all. It's got a padded back and a padded seat on it that flips down, so I can pretty much hunt or set up anywhere that a turkey might fire up at. And it's got plenty of pockets in it, which I like because I'm a pretty organizational person, and to be able to put each one of my pieces of equipment in its own separate place in my vest definitely helps when it comes down to the wire and you don't know where something is. So getting started, something I'll probably be using tonight is Locator Calls. I've got an owl hooter and a crow call. The owl hooter I'm not very good at. My dad can do a pretty awesome owl hoot with his voice, but I don't have that talent, so I have this, but I really don't use it a lot. I definitely use the crow call a lot more. This definitely works in midday and early morning when the turkeys aren't gobbling and you're trying to get that shot gobble out of them. Definitely benefits to use one of these locator calls instead of a normal turkey call, so you're not alerting the turkey to your actual position. Moving through, of course, I've got some mouth calls, which I've got 3 in the vest, and I've also got 1 extra just in case I lose one or one breaks or for whatever reason these aren't usable. So I'm not going to get into too much depth about the turkey calls themselves. To each their own, so just the basics here. In addition to those mouth calls, I have a friction call, a pot call, a crystal, and conditioning pad, of course. And I ran a slate pot call for a long time and I really loved it, but one year it just stopped working on me, so I ended up getting this one last year and really love this one. It also came with 2 strikers. Each one produces its own unique sound. One's a little more higher pitched and the other is more raspy, and I've definitely had turkey gobble to one over the other, so it's nice to have this option in the vest. And the vest does have little holders for each one of those strikers. Then it's got bigger pockets on the inside where I keep face masks and gloves. I usually keep them in the vest because I don't like to wear them when I walk in and walk out. It's just easier to keep them here so that I'm not getting them all sweaty and stuff. Then on the other side, in the bigger pocket, I keep a headlamp. This is something I really don't use all too much. It's more for emergency purposes, and I'd much rather walk in using the light of the moon or whatever it may be, or just blindly walking in rather than alerting turkey to where I might be walking with my headlamp because they can't see it. Then of course I have some blaze orange. This pins right to the back of my vest, and when I'm hunting puggable lands, it's definitely a benefit to have this instead of nothing at all, because you never know who's going to be out there, and it's definitely better to be safer than sorry. Then of course I got some teepee. This is self-explanatory. I don't need to go into depth about that. The bigger pocket on the other side, I have just this mesh bag, which I like to put morels in. I started finding morels last year and I didn't have a bag, and I was just throwing them in my vest and they would get pretty destroyed and pretty much inedible because they were just getting thrown around in there. So I added that this year, and hopefully I can get some good use out of it because I started finding them last year on the slow turkey hunts, and to be able to preserve them is definitely a thing I want to do this year. So the next bigger pocket on the outside, I keep extra shells. This thing has 5 little slots for shells. I used to just keep them in my truck, but I forgot them one year and I would really like to never do that again. So my gun holds 3, so I have the 5 in here, so I'll have 2 extra just in case. Then the last couple little things I have in here are extra batteries for the headlamp just in case, and then an extra battery for my red dot sight that's on my shotgun. Haven't needed to replace the battery yet, but of course I'm going to have to one day, and if it goes out on me when I'm turkey hunting, having this is definitely going to play a big benefit. As far as the gun goes, I have a Mossberg 535, and it's got a Vortex Venom red dot that I put on last year. I really like it. It's low profile, and it makes maneuvering the gun through the woods a lot easier, and it's a setup that I really love. So the last piece of equipment, but definitely not least, is a pair of Binos. I really think these are super important to have in the turkey woods, because coming up, definitely in the mountain areas, being able to see long ways through the thick brush and stuff could be the difference between killing a turkey and alerting a turkey to your position. So those are pretty much my most important piece of equipment in addition to turkey calls that I have. So having that is something that I really would not see myself going to turkey woods without. But that's pretty much it. I've got the camo, of course, but that stuff's pretty basic. And as far as turkey hunting equipment, this is all I got. And actually, to close out this video today, I'm going to pack up the vest here and send you all over to a throwback hunt back in the day when I was filming turkey hunts. And I stopped doing it for a while, and I'm picking it back up again. I'm really excited for this season. But this is actually my first turkey I ever shot, so I'm going to throw you all back to that, and I'm going to pack up here, so enjoy. Well, good morning. It's another morning out here at this private property out in Northern Virginia. It's date's May 3rd, 2018, and you know, we've been in here pretty much all season long trying to get one of these gobblers in range. It's been tough. We've been close a lot of times, and they've definitely been coming through here based on sign, just general sign, and the trail camera evidence. We've had a lot of good pictures on there as well, and just haven't been able to get that last step, get a bird in range. Definitely, like I said, had them close. The weather this week has been pretty incredible. It's been in the 80s and almost to the 90s yesterday, actually, and it's definitely gotten the birds moving around. We had a lot of good pictures the past couple of days, and it's looking like more of the same today. We're going to have a beautiful morning. It's about 64 degrees right now, but once that sun comes up, it's going to heat up real quick. And we actually had a hen yelp. We were scouting in here yesterday. We had a hen walk through. She's roosted on the south side of this bench over here, so we're going to slip in around the north and set up right on this laydown, and hopefully we can get lucky this morning. All the scouting and everything, it's eventually going to pay off, and just really excited to get out here again. So we'll see you out there. Hopefully we get lucky. All right, everybody, here he is, my spring 2018 gobbler, and I couldn't be more happy. I mean, this hunt has been one of the best hunts I've ever been on for any species, let alone turkey, and it started out jam-packed with action from the very beginning. It was like 9:45. I sat down on this lay down against a tree and was planning on just sitting there and listening for a gobble and just planning around that. But decided to put out a yelp, really loud one on the slate call, and this guy gobbled like 50 yards away right here in the bottom on this green patch that's on the other property. And you know, I had success hunting or self-filming deer hunts this fall, but self-filming turkey hunt is a whole different animal, and at least there's something. But he came strutting down this access road that's in the bottom, and 15-30 seconds, somewhere in there, took him to go from the green patch to about 24 yards away. And you know, I knew it was going to be a good day when I woke up this morning. The weather's been awesome. It's been up in the mid 80s past yesterday it was, and today it's already like 83. I'm freaking sweating out here carrying this bird up and down this mountain. But you know, I've just been real blessed to have this property, and you know, a lot of hard work's gone into this bird. A lot of preseason scouting, starting with spreading the shotgun, new ammo. Looking good from there. I scouted this property pretty much in the entire fall because I've been out here hunting deer, and I've got a good idea of these birds' movements and their habits around here. Scouted public too, but a lot of miles walked and a lot of signs up in here, and it's just always looked really promising here. It's been a plethora of video and pictures of these turkey coming through here on this bench, scratching it up. I've seen sign down in the bottom, tracks and droppings and whatnot, and it's just been a recipe for success from the beginning. My 5th year hunting turkey, and I finally got one. Always been stuck on public land, and that stuff is just so hard to hunt, and finally got success here on private land. I don't think these birds have ever been hunted. The beard and the spurs on this bad boy are just more than I could ever ask for. I think he's about a 3-year-old bird. He's got about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inch spur on the one leg. The other one's a little worn, but yeah, once again, just super blessed, super happy. I mean, still somewhat early in the season, so maybe I'll get out here, get another bird, maybe get my dad or my brother on one out here or out on public land. So until then, we'll see you again out in the woods.